Recently, I made a video for realistic pickup system. You could pick up items with a unique pose at a fixed height, but it had a major problem. The item was instantly snapping to character's hand. Today, we'll fix this. We're also adding third-person support, so you can switch between first-person and third-person camera and pick up at different heights. So let's jump right in. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Human here. So let's talk about the instant snapping issue. Let's open up character blueprint. Look at handle pickup event. This attach actor to component node is causing the snapping issue. First, I'm gonna unlink this node, add a custom event, and name it begin smooth attach. Call the function here, and let's find an empty space to handle this function. Alright, on attach actor to component, we set location, rotation, and scale to snap to the target. These are attachment rules. It tells the engine immediately move the item to match the hand socket transform. This frame, no questions asked. But attachment and snapping are two separate concepts. When we use snap to target here, we are bundling snapping and attachment in one place. We definitely want the attachment. It's the snapping which is ruining the effect. So that's why we change it to keep world. This attaches the item and makes it part of hand socket, but leaves it visually exactly where it already was in the world. When the hand socket moves, the item moves with it. If you like, you can leave it like this, because actually it doesn't look bad. If you set the grip points properly, it will look something like this, which is acceptable. But still, after the attachment happens, I want to slowly move the item to the socket position. So after the attachment, we will get the item's transform and also the socket transform. Then we can use a lerp node to interpolate the item's current transform to the target transform. If the alpha is 0, it means the starting position, and 1 means the target position. We need something to derive the alpha from 0 to 1 over a time. This is where a timeline component comes in. I'm gonna name it alpha timeline. Let's open it up. I want the lerping to take 0.3 seconds. Add a float track and name it alpha. Add 2 keys, 0 at the start and 1 at the end. Let's get back to event graph. We will have the alpha node here, connected to lerp. Let's use play from start node for execution. Now we're going to use the output of lerp node and set it to the current transform of the item. I'm using a global time dilation to show you what will happen exactly. You can see after attachment, it slowly moves to the socket position. This way, on normal speed, the animation looks more natural. But eventually, the item is going to rotate to socket rotation. Depending on your game and your item, you may want to keep the rotation of, for example, z-axis. Something like knife should be rotated, but the bottle should not. You can define a rotation mode on your item and control the lerp based on that, but I'll leave that to you. Alright, now let's add the third-person support. I will duplicate the camera boom and the camera itself, add a TP prefix to the name for third person. For third-person camera, I will set the settings like this and turn on camera lag and camera rotation lag. Set the speed to 14 and 12. Alright, in event graph, find an empty space. Let's assign C key for switching the camera. I want the first person to be the default camera, so make sure the auto active is on first person and off on third person. Use set active function on each camera to switch between them. And because we only have 2 cameras, we can use flip-flop node. This will switch the execution between A and B each time. So on the first time, we want to activate the third person and first person on the second time. Okay, now we can switch the camera using the C key. With 2 cameras, we need to do something about line trace function. Right now, we're shooting the line trace from first person camera. We need to have a Boolean variable. Let's name it isFirstPerson. Add a new function and name it getActiveCamera and get the camera based on isFirstPerson variable. We can make it pure because we're not changing anything. Replace the camera component with the function. Also, when we press C key, we need to enable or disable the first person mode. But now on third person mode, the line trace is not going to reach the item. The line trace distance is set to 90, which is suitable for first person. So we need to increase it to reach the item in third person too. But it will ruin the first person. The hand won't reach the item, but still the attachment happens. We will fix this issue after importing the animations for different height pickups. I made two animations myself, one for picking up from the ground and one for higher up items like something on the shelf. Together with the standard mid-height pickup from the last video, that gives us 3 heights to work with. These are placeholder animations I mock-upped myself. Swap in your own for a real project. Alright, let's go to character blueprints. On handle pickup where we play pickup montage, we need to have a variable with map type and keep the montage references based on the height. Then write a function to get the proper montage. In data assets folder, let's create an enumeration. Let's name it e_pickup height. It will have 3 members, ground, middle, and high. Alright, now add a variable and name it pickup montages. In details panel, change its type to a map. Key type is going to be pickup height and value type is anim montage. We need to compile it once to be able to set default value on it. Now here we will add 3 default values, set the height and corresponding montage on each height. Very good. Let's add a function. Let's name it getPickupMontage. After doing the line trace and finding the best grip point on the item, we will subtract the grip point height from character actor location. Now this is our delta height. Let's promote it to a local variable. Now we will have 2 thresholds, a ground threshold and a high threshold. Between those is middle. Set -40 on ground threshold. It means if the grip point height is lower than character's height for 40 centimeters, and set high threshold value to +40. Now we compare. If delta height is less than ground threshold, add an output to make the output node appear. Drag pickup montages variable to the graph and use find function on it. For this condition, we want the ground montage. Drag from it and just release on the return node. It will automatically create the parameter for us. Let's name it montage and delete the extra one. Okay, else if delta height is greater than high threshold, return the high montage, else return middle montage. Now let's use this function and pass the proper montage to play montage node. Alright, we have got our 3 montages, but before we can play them from the character, there's a bit of setup we need to do on the new animations. If you look at the middle pickup animation from the last video, we have 2 curves, one for hand IK and one for grip pose alpha. We also have 2 montage notifies on grab and add to inventory. So we need to set these up for ground and high montages. I have explained these in detail in the last video. This is the ground pickup setup and this is high pickup setup. Increase the line trace distance to 500 and let's test it out. You can see the proper montage is being played for each height, but you can see a bad twist on the arm when picking up from the shelf and on the ground. If you encounter this twist in your project, it might be coming from the control rig where the IK is being solved. Let's open up hand IK control rig. This compute pole vector here is computing the bending direction of the arm. If this is working for you, you can keep it, but I will remove this node and create a manual pole vector. Create a new control on lower arm R. Select the control, move it outward in the direction where the arm is going to bend. In order to keep it here, you need to right-click on it and click on 0 offset. Alright, now drag the control to the graph and connect the translation to pole vector. This fixes the twist on my animation. Okay, we need to do something about the line trace. Do not decrease the line trace distance. Let it identify the items from a far distance. After line trace did its job, we will check if the item is in range for pickup. Let's create a function and name it isItemInRange. After finding the best grip point, we will check if it is in range. Subtract it from actor location to get the distance. If you want to get a distance on a location vector, you should use vector length. If the distance is less or equal to 120 centimeters, then it's in range. We can also make it pure. Now here in event graph, we will check if it's in range, then start picking it up. This way you can increase the line trace distance even more. Now in game, line trace works, but if we're not in range, it's not going to pick it up. Very good. The only issue remaining, if we pick the item up in first person from the ground or from the shelf, because the camera is not attached to the character, it's not going to look good. To fix this, you can attach the first person camera to character's head. Now when picking up, the camera is going to move with the character's head. Not every project needs all of this. If you are first person only, skip the third person section. The reason I covered so many variations in one video is because everyone building something different. Some of you are making first person games, some third person. Some with grounded realism, some with quick arcade pickups. I'm not going to tell you which one is right. You can pick the pieces that fit your game and drop the rest. I really appreciate all the support and kind comments of you guys. It means a lot, really. And it's pushing me to make more and better content. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.